Sorry to start, I hope you're doing well. So in today's video, I want to talk about the major airlines in Kazakhstan. I'm making this video especially for my friends who asked which airlines provide the best value and to travel cheap within Kazakhstan. There are major foreign airlines that travel to Kazakhstan such as Etihad, Emirates, Lufthansa, Air Arabia, Fly Dubai. But there are alternatives within Kazakhstan so that you can travel much more cheaper. There are five major airlines in Kazakhstan. The first one is Air Astana, Scat, Air, FlyArystan, and then there's a new one called Qazaq Air. The first one is Air Astana, which is the best and most popular airline in Kazakhstan. I usually use Air Astana for a few reasons. The first, in this airline, the flights are never late. Even if the flight is late, they will send a different plane within 1 to 2 hours. They have the latest aeroplanes such as A320, A321. So interior is nice and fresh all the time. The third advantage is they provide frequent flyer points called Nomad Club. I always use that, and they give the points generously because I traveled Air Astana maybe 6 times last year, and I got enough points for my next flight to upgrade from economy to business class. So whenever I book a ticket in which the time is very important, when I have a connecting flight with a different international airline, I make sure that I pay extra for Air Astana. Compared to all other companies, Air Astana, the price is a bit more expensive, but they make sure that the quality and the experience is much better. One more advantage of using Air Astana is they have a code sharing relationship with major airlines like Lufthansa, so that you can travel to almost all European destinations by taking the same ticket by using Air Astana. They also have flights to Delhi. Air Astana is the only airline that has direct flights from Almaty and Astana to Delhi. So I usually use those flights to visit Kazakhstan. Other option is either I have to use Etihad, Air Arabia or Emirates. The issue is I have to go from Delhi to Middle East and from Middle East to Kazakhstan. So having an airline such as Air Astana that provides direct flight from Delhi to Kazakhstan is much more easier for me. The second airline I want to talk about is FlyArystan. As I said before, the Air Astana is much more expensive, so they released a new subsidiary of Air Astana this year called FlyArystan, and the prices are very cheap if you book the flights at least 3 to 4 months before. So it's supposed to be a low-cost airline, but if you book flights like a month before, the prices are almost same as Air Astana. And I think the Nomad Club points doesn't transfer to FlyArystan. So make sure to check all these details before booking FlyArystan. The third company I want to talk about is Scat Airlines. Personally, I always avoid Scat Airlines because it's always late. I think I booked Scat Airlines maybe 3 or 4 times. On all occasions, the flight were late. Late for like 2 days. And if you book Scat and if you have an international connecting flight, you'll definitely miss it. Scat Airlines doesn't have a good safety record. There were 2 major airplane crash in Kazakhstan, and it was from Scat Airlines. Personally, when I travel Scat Airlines, the interior and the quality of service is very poor. It doesn't have a good safety record. As I said before, you will feel it when you're inside the plane. The seats are rattling, everything is dirty. And last time when I traveled, they didn't have the exit sign on top of the exit. They just put sellotape and wrote with marker that it's an exit. So please make sure to check all these details before traveling through Scat Airlines. The next airline I want to talk about is Qazaq Air. Qazak. It's not Kazakh, it's Qazaq, starting with a Q. It's a fairly new airline. They have small aeroplanes with the propeller outside. The quality of service is good, but the number of seats are very small, very less, and the seats are also very small and narrow. So make sure to check out these details such as comfort before traveling. There are no food or drinks inside Kazakh Airlines because it's a low-cost airline. The only advantage is they have direct flights between small cities. It's like a hopper airline. So most of the airlines I said before, they always travel from Astana or Almaty, which is the hub, to all other cities like Astana, Aktobe, Astana, Almaty. But what Qazaq Air does is it hops from city to city. So if you want to travel from Aktobe to Aktao, which are very small cities, Qazaq Air is the best option. You don't have to travel from Aktobe to Astana, then Astana to Aktao. You can just travel from Aktobe to Aktao. The only disadvantage is if you're traveling to a faraway city, you have to stop at least 3 times to reach your city, and you cannot just sit in the plane. You have to disembark, go to the airport, get a new you should get a new boarding pass, and then again go to the plane. That's the only disadvantage of having Qazaq Air. Most of the aeroplanes in Qazaq Air are very new, so it's very clean and well maintained. The last airline I want to talk about is Bek Air. Bek Air was introduced maybe 4 to 5 years before. They had a crazy offer saying that you can travel in Bek Air to any city in Kazakhstan for 10,000 tenge, which is a big deal because most of the tickets cost around 30 to 40,000 tenge. So that was the way the airline was introduced to Kazakhstan. Again, it's a fairly new airline company. All the planes are new and clean. Most of the planes are narrow-bodied. It's very small. The number of seats are very less and narrow, same as the Qazaq Air. So these are the major airlines in Kazakhstan. What I would recommend is, if you're trying to book tickets, some people use websites like Skyscanner that aggregates all the information about airlines. The issue is only Air Astana shows up in these websites. There are other options such as Scat, Qazaq, Bek Air, and FlyArystan. These details are never shown in this international flight aggregating website. I would recommend you to visit aviata.kz. It aggregates all the information about Qazaq Airlines, so you can book tickets for free. One thing I always do is I always try to book tickets at least 3 to 4 months before. You get the tickets very cheap, at least like 1/4 of the price. You can get flights for a price around 10,000 tenge, which is very cheap when compared to 40,000, 50,000 tenge. So hopefully this video will be helpful for you to book future flights within Kazakhstan. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to click like, and if you would like to see more contents from Kazakhstan, please subscribe. See you soon in next video. Goodbye.